Hello, I'm meteorologist. Hello, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss with a weather impact update for you. Today has definitely been a busy weather day. We have been tracking a lot of heavy rain. We've been tracking a few severe thunderstorms, and now things are starting to finally calm down. So let's get right on into it. What are we looking at right now? This is a look into our current satellite and radar, and it is definitely telling a huge weather story for us. As of right now, things are starting to calm down just a little bit. As you can see, we are starting to dry out, which is great news for us. We need to dry out some because some of us have been getting some ongoing showers and thunderstorms pretty much all evening long. And as we take a closer look into what's been happening, in fact, we're going to put this into motion in just a second. You can see some of these storms still marching along eastward. As we take a closer look into the metro area, things are mostly dry here in metro Atlanta, but going through East Georgia, Crawfordville, Greensboro, Madison, heading towards Lake Oconee, and down towards Augusta, we do have a few pockets of heavy rain and a few thunderstorms. But here, closer to home, we are mostly dry. But here's the deal. We have had a lot of rain in the last few hours in certain places. Some of us have been mostly dry, which is definitely nice, but we do need the rainfall. We are in a drought, so this is definitely something that is welcomed. However, we're starting to hear more reports of flooding. And in fact, in Clayton County, there was a breach in a dam, and that caused some flooding on I-75, and that's still ongoing. We're working to learn more information about that and exactly what happened and when they expect it all to be cleared up. But let's talk about the rest of tonight as far as our weather is concerned. There is still a small severe threat that is actually outside of our viewing area. That's into Augusta, but there's still a marginal risk for some showers with a few lightning strikes, maybe even some heavy rainfall that could be developing. This is a live look into Blue Ridge tonight. It is completely dry. You can see that flag is not even blowing in the wind, which tells us there's a lack of wind, which is great news. And if you do hear any rainfall outside, I am more than positive that all of the strong to severe weather has completed, which is good news. Let's talk a little bit about Sunday because this is the big weather story. We have been teasing this. We've been talking about it all week long, and finally we're starting to see it closer and closer to this big cool down. So let's talk about Sunday. Sunday's not going to be a day where you should just stay inside. It's not going to be detrimental by any means, but you're going to see and feel the differences throughout the day on Sunday. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures are going to be very mild. We're still mild right now. So overnight tonight, going into your Sunday, those temperatures will still be mild. Sunday during the day, still into the 60s, maybe even the mid to upper 60s. But once we get around 2 p.m., we're going to start to see the difference with those temperatures. They will start to fall. Our wind gusts throughout the day on Sunday are going to be maybe 20 to 25 miles an hour, and that's going to make it feel even colder. So let's time it all out for you. What can you expect? What are we tracking? This is a look at our forecast track for the rest of tonight. Like I said, severe weather is complete. We don't have to worry about that. Maybe a few spotty showers at the most, but we're going to be staying dry, mostly dry, as we head throughout the rest of tonight going into your Sunday morning. This is Sunday at lunchtime. I put a pause point here because I want you to see the difference in what we're talking about as far as the forecast track is concerned. Sunday at 12:30, look at that temperature, 67 here in Metro Atlanta, maybe even to the 70s across South and East Georgia. But as we continue to put into motion, 6 hours later, we could be near 50 degrees. One thing I want you to notice, if you can see it there, the arrows on the screen, they're a little bit tighter. So around 6 p.m., the winds are going to start to increase, and you're really going to feel different than that 50-degree temperature. Now, around midnight for your Monday, already into the 30s. The upper 30s, but the wind chill, if you work third shift or overnights, you are definitely going to want to bundle up because it's going to be very cold Sunday night going into Monday. Maybe even a few mountain flurries if we're lucky to see some wraparound moisture lingering around. Then as we head through your Monday morning, mind you, these are actual temperatures near 32 degrees by 9 a.m. Now, this is why we have that weather impacts alert in place for the Arctic cold. We want you to be prepared for that. We want you to know exactly what you need to be prepared for, how to dress, what you need to be watching out for. We call it the 4 Ps. You want to protect your pipes, your pets, your people, and your plants, because it is definitely the time of the year where we can see this hard freeze coming in, and a lot of times it's a shock to the system, especially since we're talking about temperatures into the 70s from this week. Even today, our high was 78. So we're talking almost 30 to 40 degree difference here in the next 24 to 48 hours. So here's a look at it. We do have a freeze watch in effect for Monday morning. It does include Metro Atlanta, all of Northwest and West Georgia. So you need to just be prepared. The freeze watch is in effect. There's nothing that we can do about it. We can't change it, but we have to tell you about it so that you are prepared. They are going to extend this freeze watch to include more places. Okay, so make sure that you are aware that this freeze watch is in effect for your Monday. Then we're going to see it kind of go into a freeze warning. So that will be the difference there. So just make sure that you are aware of everything that's going on. This is another big part of the weather story. Your temperatures versus your wind chills. Okay, so Monday morning, I was telling you temperatures around 32 degrees. The light blue is the actual temperature. So 32 degrees on Monday morning, 25 is your wind chill. I always say during the winter and during the summer, that is what matters the most. It's the feels like temperature, right? When it's hot outside, yeah, it could be 90 degrees, but it feels like 110. I need to know that. So this is what the difference is in the winter time, right? It's 32 degrees Monday morning, but when you factor in the winds, it could feel like 25. I can't stress this enough. A light jacket is not going to be enough for your kids to go to the bus stop on Monday morning. They're going to need coats, gloves, hats, not just for Monday morning, but Monday throughout the day. I wouldn't be surprised if some schools don't even allow recess on Monday because it's going to be so cold. Monday evening, this is during the warmest part of the day, 40 degrees, but feeling like 34. Tuesday morning, 28 degrees, feeling like 19. That's here in Metro Atlanta. That's not what we're talking about in the North Georgia mountains. That's right here in Metro Atlanta. Now, Tuesday afternoon, we see a little bit of a difference. That is going to feel warm to us after we go through this big shock to our system. Okay, this is another big thing, right? I told you that throughout the day on Sunday, you are going to feel the difference. This is the visual representation. What you're going to see is this cold air coming in from the west. Once again, this is your feels like temperature. Pay attention to the time and the date. This is Sunday at 12 p.m. Sunday at 12 feels like 67, right? Let's put it into motion. By 10:30, it's going to feel like 30 degrees. It's going to feel like 25 in the North Georgia mountains. You can see how cold it comes in. And when we start to look in that purple area, that's that dangerous cold weather. And it just gets worse for your Monday morning. So 6 a.m., look at that. 14, 16, 18 degrees. We talk about Metro Atlanta, feeling like 19 in Marietta, 18 in Carrollton. That's really cold weather. So we want you to be prepared for that. That's why that weather impact alert is in effect. Even Monday at 6 p.m., we're not going to get very warm at all. There will be plenty of sunshine. This is one of those really cold winter days where there's plenty of sunshine and the sun is just there for decoration. We're not getting any warmth from it at all. We are definitely getting that cold, cold air coming in. Sunday at 6 p.m., it could feel like 24. In the North Georgia mountains, this is also after sunset. You have to remember that. So Blairsville and Clayton feeling like 12 degrees. So definitely anticipating some really cold weather coming in. We also want to make sure that people, we have to stress people. Make sure that you have a good way to get heat. There are several warming centers that are set up, and we have a list of those on our website, 11alive.com. Make sure you are looking for a warming center, a warming shelter. If you don't have adequate amount of heat, this is not the cold air that you want to play with. Do not use that oven. Make sure you go and get into a good warming shelter or warming center. Reach out to your emergency manager's office to see if they can help you, because this is really cold weather. This is wintertime weather. We are still in fall. So we should not be this cold just yet. Now, as we put this into motion again, Tuesday morning, it could be even colder. Clayton in the North Georgia mountains feeling like 14, feeling like 22 degrees in Peachtree City. And this trend just continues. Now, Tuesday, you can see that we start to warm up just a little bit. In fact, the winds will start to settle, and that's why we'll feel the difference with those temperatures. You can see it came up to that light blue color, but you still need to make sure that you are prepared for another cold day for your Tuesday. Another thing we're watching out for is that wraparound moisture, right? Is that moisture going to be in place? Obviously, the temperatures are going to be in place for us to see some flurries in the mountains, but will the moisture be there? That's the next question that we are trying to figure out. Even if we do, models are just showing flurries at best. We're not looking at a huge accumulation by any means, but there could be a few mountain flurries for your Monday and maybe even Monday evening once again as the rest of this front tries to pass through. Those temperatures are just almost startling. Here's a 7-day forecast. This is really important for tomorrow. The next 3 days are really the days that I want you to focus on. We will get to the nice warmer weather, but these are the days that you need to focus on. Sunday, 66 degrees, that high is going to be early in the day. So don't get caught on that. We're going to reach that temperature early in the day. The winds will be increasing. It will feel much colder than that at Sunday during the warmest part of the day, which is like 3 or 4 o'clock. Monday, it's going to feel, we won't feel like 40 degrees at all. We're going to feel like the 30s. We're going to feel like the 20s throughout the day. And we're going to get very close to having a hard freeze really tomorrow night going into Monday. We're going to be very, very close to that. Tuesday morning, we're going to have our first hard freeze of the season. I can't stress it enough. Protect your people, your pets, your pipes, and your plants. People, pets, pipes, and plants, okay? Tuesday, high 49 degrees. Now, I will say Tuesday evening, we'll start to feel a little bit warmer. The winds won't be as high, but it's definitely going to be very cold. Then Wednesday, we finally get back into the 60s. Our average for this time of the year is around 69, and we're going to get there. And then even by this time next week, Saturday, highs to be back near 74 degrees, which that's going to feel great. We have to get through these 3 days. So if you are concerned about where you should go, make sure that you look up a warming center that is close to you. There's going to be more that come out in the next coming days and the next coming hours, really. So we want you to be safe. We want you to be secure. We want you to know how to prepare for this. Make sure that you're staying up to date with the latest forecast. We're going to keep doing these live streams so that you can know what to expect. We do have that weather impact alert for all day on Monday and Tuesday morning. For now, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. If you're watching our 11 Alive app, I'm going to put some live stream some of our radar back into loop so you can watch that for yourself and get some more weather information. But we'll return you back to what you were doing just for a minute.